everybody, Pat Huntoon here with Technique Junkies, and today I'm going to be showing you a product that is going into closeout on my website because they've stopped producing it. So I have Aladine Eye Ink Ice, and this is a translucent gel. I have shown it a few times on my videos, but today I'm going to show you 2 ways to use it and then give you a link for the closeout. Normally these run $6.49. I am putting them on sale for $4.49, so that's $2 off of each pouch until they're closed out. I do have a limited quantity. I did attempt to make the quantities correct on my website, but sometimes my website does fun and unusual things, so you just have to bear with me. I cannot get any more, so when they're out, they're out. I probably have the last in a long line of ice. So that's the ice story. So I'm going to show you 2 quick ways. The first way I'm going to show you is All About Summer. I'm going to use the All About Summer stamp. I've already stamped it on just a piece of white cardstock. It doesn't matter. The cardstock itself doesn't matter which cardstock you used. And I used Catherine Pooler Midnight ink to do this. You can use any ink in the background. It's not going to move the ink around. But if you can do this 2 ways, you can stamp first and then put the ice over the top, or you can put the ice down and then stamp into it. If you stamp into it, I strongly recommend using a stamp positioner and Stays On ink, because the Stays On will help it adhere. I think the Catherine Pooler might be just a little bit too juicy to ever dry effectively. And don't forget, you can use a heat tool when drying these if you're careful and you don't get too close to the ice. So let me show you what we're going to do really quick. I did show the cards at the beginning of the video that I made from these 2 things. So I'm just using my fingertip, and you can see I've used my fingertip already today. So I'm going to use my fingertip and put a little down. You can, and if you're not comfortable using your fingertip, you certainly can use a palette knife to do this. So I'm just going to kind of rub this on several spots pretty randomly. So you do have to forgive with this example I'm making. I didn't stamp it perfectly. My stamp positioner is, all of my stamp positioners are packed for a trade show that I'm teaching classes at, and I needed all 7 or 8 of the stamp positioners I have. So I put a little bit down. Now I'm going to show you something. When you use a second color, if I use this, I want a little bit more green on there. If I use this second color while it's wet, and I'll do it on another piece of paper. Just move that real quick. If I use a second color while it's wet and put it over it, it will blend, okay? If I wait until both colors are dry, see it's blending there, you're getting the mixed color. If I wait until both colors are at least somewhat dry, the green is somewhat dry, it will layer on top, which is what gives you all that yummy, beautiful, distinct colors. So I think that's probably pretty good. Again, I could hit that with a heat tool if I want. You just want it to be mainly dry or partially dry, just not paint wet. All right, so I'm just going to put the purple over, kind of overlap them a little bit. And any place I didn't have green, I'm going to put the purple down. Really easy. So a little bit about this product. These are the first, and probably haven't opened an ice for a really long time, because I was doing make and takes with it in my booth 2 years ago and started in 2021, but I haven't done them for at least a year. So just so you know, when you have a product like this, in order to keep them moist, what you want to do is make sure that when you close it, when you close them up, you just wipe the top off, make sure there's nothing there. So you want to make sure there's nothing in the lid that is going to get it stuck in there. And then you want to take the product and you want to push that product up to the top of that nozzle. Here's why. I've had some of my ice and Aladine diamonds since 2017. And when during COVID, obviously, I wasn't doing trade shows and I wasn't using them very much. So when I picked them up in 2021 and 2022, I could feel from this metallic pouch that they were still moist. And that's because they have a very small air hole, or a blowhole as I like to call it, and air can't get into them. So what you just saw me do by pushing that to the top was not allowing one bit of air inside this packet. And that will keep this from getting dried out. Okay, same with this one. I'm going to push it right to the top. I got a little of the second color on there, so I'm just going to give it a little shave. And screw my top right on there. And then that now forever will be good until I use it again, which may be a while. All right, so that's the first way to use that. All right. Okay, so the second way to use this is to simply use a stencil. So I took this stencil called Tail Up, and I have sprayed it with pixie spray because I would like this to hold nice and firmly to my cardstock and my paper, so it doesn't lift, especially with these lines. And I'm just going to use, a palette knife. So I am going to have a purple whale. I know it's a little odd, but you know, they're the colors I have out. And I just think this stencil is really, really cute. Purple whale. I'm just going to add a little bit of purple to the bottom here, just to add a little bit of extra color to it. And take the glacier green that I'm using here. So that was Arctic Grape. This is the glacier green. I'm just going to put some glacier green on there and go over it. And again, this is just for illustration purposes, so you can see how these work. And just go over the top of that, nice and easy. And when you're done, just peel it off. You have this really adorable background with the tail on it. So now I wish I'd pulled the blue out, but I didn't. So close these up properly. And because I can't waste anything, we'll just take another piece of paper and give that some smushes across it and have a light background here that I can stamp into. It's 2.5 ways, I guess, because I'm using the extra there. And it'll make a nice little background. So I'm just going to literally go to a sink and wash this off just with a little hand soap, and it'll be perfect. Quick, if you don't have time to get it to a water source, make sure you wipe it down with a baby wipe or some cleaning spray in a paper towel or a microfiber cloth. 2.5 ways to use the Aladine ice. And remember, it's on sale while supplies last. Nice. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. I hope you will consider subscribing to the Technique Junkies YouTube channel in the future, and thank you so much. See you next time.